Deep within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time. A Legion of Doom.
Crushed and crumbled. I'm not sure if it's safe to report from my vantage point. I really need to leave. So the fences inform me that the surrounding areas are in ruin. I see some people running now. In the opinion of this reporter, if this nation, or in fact the world, ever needed heroes, that time is now. That time is now.
The meeting will come to order. The Legion of Doom is now in session.
Sorry. I mentioned that the worldwide world champion is the nature boy Ric Flair. How can a guy who is as bad and as mean as you are still be so popular? Come on, you're bad.
Oh, I'm not really bad. What I am is a man that is possessed, a man that is driven to be the best in a chosen profession. I chose professional wrestling. It's the greatest sport in the world, and sometimes you have to do things that are not really received as being popular to get where you are, to get where you have to be.
Come on in, down to just a tight shot. You once told me that you were extremely proud of the fact that you were the highest paid, most well-known wrestler in the world. Rick, everyone knows that wrestling is a big business today. Are you still at the top?
Yes, I'd say even more so now. From the wrestling aspect, I'll still put my W2 on the table against anybody. I'm sure that the National Wrestling Alliance and Jim Crockett Promotions pay the World Heavyweight Champion the best fee that can be made by any wrestler. I'm talking strictly for wrestling.
July
the national. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the notoriety in our sport, for me as well as every other established star, has just gotten bigger with the cable systems and the publicity now all around the world that we are, and I include a lot of other wrestlers, we are the most recognized sports celebrities in the world.
July the 2nd, you come to Washington, D.C. It will be really the first time you'll be in the main building in the Cap Center.
Cap Center.
Obviously, you have to come in there. People are going to be saying, oh, this is where Flair's going to lose his title.
Well, people say that a lot about major sporting events that Ric Flair is involved in. The Cap Center, we've been planning on coming there for a long time. We're looking forward to our date there. It's one of the most popular wrestling arenas anywhere in the world, and regardless of who I wrestle, Ric Flair will be there 120%, and just as he has done in the past, George Michael, he will show the crowd why firsthand he is the greatest wrestler alive today.
It's a shame he doesn't give me a closing line. It's a shame he doesn't understand television. Damn it. Jim, you got to teach him television. Is Noise okay? Oh, that doesn't matter at all. I got to go this side, and it's just him, just a talking head. Mike, Ricky Steamboat talking about leaving I know you don't like the question, but I got it. All right. What happens if you decide to leave the WWF to go to the NWA?
Well, first of all, my contract came to an end, a 2-year contract that I signed with the WWF. But also, I felt that it was time for me to go after the NWA because I feel, to go to the NWA, excuse me, I feel that the NWA has out and out the best and purest form of wrestling, and that's what I'm all about. I think having an amateur background at Syracuse University, I came up through the amateur ranks, and going after a wrestler that I feel like the quality of Ric Flair, a pure out-and-out wrestling machine, I want a shot at that title, and that's what I'm doing in the NWA.
Mike, that was the next thing I was going to ask you. Your former tag team partner is getting a shot at Ric Flair. Is your day going to come?
Well, I sure hope so. Right now, I'm holding the Florida heavyweight title, and in the past, it's been a stepping stone toward a shot at Ric Flair. You have champions like Dory Funk Jr., Terry Funk, Dusty Rhodes, and they've all been Florida heavyweight champions, and Jack Briscoe. They've gone on to be world's heavyweight champions, NWA. So that's what I'm here. I have to defend that belt each and every time I go out after it. And, you know, you have to pay the price to have a shot at Ric Flair because of the quality wrestler he is, and hopefully I'll get my chance and take that title someday.
There are wrestlers coming into this tag team tournament who have worldwide reputation. I would imagine that while you have the individual goal of the heavyweight championship, that this has got to be a little extra special.
It is a little extra special because you're talking about $1 million prize to the winner. And anytime you're talking about that kind of money, you're talking about some awesome individuals and going head-to-head, and that's exactly what's going to happen here right now. Tim Horner and myself are going into the tournament unseeded, but I've been in that position a few times before, and sometimes you can take some people by surprise, and hopefully we'll walk away with that $1 million.
Yeah. Bob? Okay. Introduce me.
Big Bubba Rogers, my personal bodyguard.
What do you need a bodyguard for?
Oh, you never know.
Let's
We're
go.
having a lemon.
What? Don't say that. Come on, this is network.
We're not on the air, though, are we?
No, but
Okay,
God knows it's coming. Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
In 15 seconds or less, tell me why you have the best tag team in America.
I have the best tag team in America because they're twin sons of different mothers, synchronized motion. They are the greatest tag team that's ever stepped in the wrestling ring, the greatest tag team that ever will step in the wrestling ring, just because they are indeed the best.
Well, then they got to win $1 million here.
They're going to win $1 million. It's coming up. Just lead us to the ring, get us the opponents, and we're going to win $1 million. That's it.
Lou, you don't need to do any more than that. Play off of that right into them. Okay. Would it be fair of me to say that you just walking in here like this is something that people say wasn't going to happen?
It would be a very positive statement. About 6 months ago, I had a very important doctor looking over at me as I was laying on a bed flat on my back, telling me that I was going to be a quadriplegic for the rest of my life. And yeah, I would say right now I've probably proven all the medical geniuses that they were wrong.
You've had a lot of great bouts in the ring. I can think of a few. You know, of course, you met all the names, Flair and whatnot. What has been running through your mind through all these months to get you where you walk in here tonight?
Well, I look at life as a series of challenges. As I was a young boy, I wanted to be a professional wrestler, and I went through the amateur ranks and built myself up, and that was a great challenge to finally become a professional, much less reach the heights that I did in professional wrestling, being a #1 contender for the world's heavyweight title. But as this happened to me, rather than looking at it as some disastrous thing and saying, woe is me, why did this happen to me, it kind of struck me as a challenge that I'd had thrown my way. Because immediately as I saw the impact that my injury had on the wrestling world and people that weren't even involved in professional wrestling, I realized that there was people out there looking up to me and the things that I've accomplished and done. They were paying attention to this very crucial time in my life. And I said, if I can beat this thing, beat these odds, people out there are going to see me in a whole new light, and maybe they're going to see their own lives and their own troubles in a different light, and maybe I can be an inspiration to people in a whole different realm now than I've ever been before while I was in all those bouts in the ring.
I need one bite. You ready? How big in the Washington, D.C., Baltimore market, how big is the business of wrestling today?
It's phenomenal, George. Just in Baltimore alone, notwithstanding Washington, we're here once a month, and our competitors have been here once a month for years, and we're doing capacity business. In Washington, as you know, we've done big business at the Armory. The Capitol Center has also done big business, and we're going to be in the Capitol Center July 2nd. The Baltimore-Washington area right now is hopping for wrestling, as are many parts of the country, and we're thrilled about it.
Boom. Paul, I'm going to need you to step up, and don't worry about getting in front of me, okay? There are tag teams, and then there are the Road Warriors. Paul, this is more than a tag team.
We're looking, George, at the greatest team of all time, the greatest team of our time. Right now, we stand at the epitome. We stand on top of the pile, and all the other wrestlers, all the other teams are just members of the rank and file. You're looking at two men who lift enormous poundages every day. Two men that every time they go into the ring, they're the most feared team in professional wrestling today. The Animal, the Hawk, the epitome of what wrestling is today.
And if you were behind the Animal and the Hawk, you would not mind standing behind and instead of front of. Paul, I have another question for you. It appears to me that it has become a point in time where the Road Warriors have gone beyond wrestling. This is now a major business with them.
Well, of course, wrestling is big business. Wrestling's the biggest business in the world. The biggest sporting event ever held was in wrestling.
But the Warriors, bigger than anything.
I was getting to that.
I'm sorry.
The Legion of Doom stands alone. The Road Warriors are the greatest sports attraction in wrestling today. No team, no individual. Wrestling is the Road Warriors. We are number one.
We're easy to remember. We're the team that keeps doctors in business. If anybody loves us, it's doctors, because we're always sending them business.
Gentlemen.
All right.
And welcome back to the Iwar Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex G. And with me this evening, it's just Matt. Just Matt by himself.
Wait, there's me and...
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Martini. Oh,
there it
yes.
is. So I hope everyone had a fantastic cycle this cycle. No.
Actually, I'll say this: it's a weird cycle when you do bad, like score-wise, you do poorly. But when I was doing, we were doing the Strat show last week. Oh, welcome back, Michael Swanson. Mike Mason making it to the title page. Welcome back, sir.
I was going to do a whole thing in the CWL about that.
All right. Well, don't worry. We will.
A little background there.
Nice. No, but it was one of those cycles where, like, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And I knew 90 went to 43, I think, in iron or steel, whatever. Anyways, but, like, it happened. So that was bad. But, like, more a case of just didn't know what was going to what. So a tougher cycle for sure. And it's funny because the one wrestler in my group that I actually gave the right drop to had the worst back, so it was like, so there's that. Yeah.
Indeed. So this is the February 2024 cycle.
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah. So lots of exciting action to cover today.
Yeah, for sure.
We of course have our Johnny B trivia. We have I have some belts to show off, and an angry cat. Yeah, it's all there. And of course, if you want to ask us questions during the show, please chime in the chat box here. Like and subscribe. Look, I'm gonna like right now. Ding, 1 like.
There it is.
So it's 1 like.
Now I'm a millionaire. Thanks.
That's right. Well, I got the thing asking if I wanted to subscribe and be a super member or something like that, and I was like, I thought it was, but that you got demonetized. That happened?
No, I did not. I'm still monetized technically. I demonetized the videos.
Ah, okay.
So but my account is so like
I still
get paid on the old videos.
If you are demonetized, can you have copyrighted stuff on your thread?
No.
Okay, so you can't do it anyway. I was wondering if there was a thing like if you weren't going to monetize at all,
it makes the threat. So if obviously there's footage up, people see it, right? It's USA Wrestling, by the way. It's up currently. No one's gonna give a shit about that, right? If I'm monetized, they're more likely to strike me than if I wasn't. Sometimes they'll let you leave stuff up there, but they get paid off of it instead of you. So say like I put, I don't know, for argument's sake, a Saturday's night main event up, right?
Yeah.
WWE won't force me to take it down. What they'll do is they'll take the money from that video.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fair. As far as at least leaving the content up.
Yeah, the content will be up. They won't shut it down. But
I still say my worst thing was Scott and I were at a Red Sox game and we were wrestling masks. And when they came back from commercial on a TV show, like the coverage, they showed us in the stands. And there was like, they were talking. They come back from break and they kind of chit chat, and then they come back to the game. And I put that video up, and MLB was like, "No." I'm like, MLB, what do you give a shit? It's in the stands. Like, we're not showing Ken Griffey hit a home run or like Mike Trout do something, whatever. It's just stupid. Before I forget, what is the image in the middle here? That Gordon Soley?
That's Gordon Soley in front of the women's restroom.
Of course he is. Did the McMahon hit the fan with his shit?
I promised myself I wasn't going to talk about that because that would be at least an hour and 45 minutes on that topic.
We do our super special show on that one.
Yeah, that's a rough go. You might actually go to jail. So,
but I will say this: has anyone you've talked to about it, or have been like, "Well, that's a surprise"?
There's more people. Not saying that's a surprise. There's more people like, "Oh, she's just straight up lying."
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So they're defending him on that level. Like, there's no evidence to suggest that he didn't do these things. Just on, I read the entire 62-page complaint,
Yeah.
With the text messages.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing the histrionics of himself, it's dead to rights. Like, he paid this woman off for a reason, had her sign an NDA for a reason, and and the only reason this got back out was that he just like one day woke up and was like, I'm not paying her no more.
Yeah.
So he broke the NDA.
Right.
So I don't know for what reason. He's probably going to blame dementia. He's probably going to blame a CTE possibly as a reason for shit. I can see that.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure what I always think about is that was like $1 million he was paying her roughly.
Yeah.
And what I kept thinking of, there were other lawsuits. Remember when the whole thing when he stepped away, it was like he paid X amount of people, like 17 million or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, what's going on there? Like, are we talking like people had kids, people something worse? Because I still think, like, granted, the whole thing with him pimping her out and all that jazz is terrible. But the thing everyone talks about was like the shitting. And, I was like, would this still be I mean, it'd still be bad, but like everyone has that like, that's like the, god damn. I mean, hey, poop happens, but
there's so much history. You can go back to as far back as Rita Chatterton in the 80s and Ring Boys and that shit. So it's like this is like the second time they've been under federal investigation for sex trafficking. So
yeah,
that's a rough
go. But another before I forget here, what's the video we're watching here? What is the footage?
That is USA Wrestling. So it's good old Pensacola, I believe that's it. It's Gordon Solomon. It's Davey and it's Davey Rich.
Is that the Italian Stallion?
It is.
Okay, so a younger, less.
Yeah, so it's like 86, 87-ish.
Well, why don't we switch from one corrupt leader to another and go into our Johnny B trivia?
Good old JB.
All right, so as we do every show, we start off after we stop rambling. We go through Johnny B Jr. sends us his trivia. So this is Q&A. If you have a question, pop it in there. We're happy to pass it along. We'll think of things as we do this as well. We'll see if he will ever get the question from Alex answered if...
Boxers and briefs.
Italian's Commando.
Bikini briefs at that. Like zebra prints.
Zubaz.
I would I would wear a pair right now if I could.
Nice. All right, so let's see here. Like they say at the beginning of TV shows, previously on the Iwar Network Tubecast, I reminded the host about the correct pronunciation of nuke the secret weapon, writing that it's intended to rhyme with the last name of resident Idaho strat guru Michael Cook. So Nook, not nuke. But somehow, Matt somehow managed to misread this as it's not intended to rhyme with Mike Cook. Oops. And proceeded to mispronounce it our overworked jobber's name is Nuke for the remainder of the episode. Mr. Riley is quite fortunate that for you that Nook is the sort of fellow to settle his disputes in the ring rather than the courts. For were that not the case, he most certainly sue you for repeatedly butchering his good name. Well, it's not that good. Yes, he would sue you and make you pie? I think cry. Make you pie. It was a typo. That's in rhythm.
He doesn't do typos. Let's get real.
Alex inquired, could a commissioner convince the Idaho to change the locations of the match cards? He then described the unlikely scenario of a player requesting the creation of a superhero league which featured Fawcett City, Gotham City, Metropolis as three of its venues. I think it's a hint. Johnny B. Jr. We have been allowing commissioners to customize the league's card locations for many, many years. When frequent viewer Darren was commissioner of the CWL, he had every card take place at the same arena, so the bulletin simply listed the card numbers and attendance. Custom venues were employed by the SVL until recently, and certainly currently appear in the BHL, CFL, EWL, FSL, GIL, IGL, LPL, MML, NSL, OSL, TGL, YJL, ZZL, and the Iwar Network's very own WTL. So the answer is yes. They are also used in the Superhero League, I mentioned before, and the collection of names Darren provided include Fawcett City, Gotham City, and Metropolis. It seems the scenario wasn't so unlikely after all. So the answer is yes, and that gives pause for some ideas for naming like BRL arenas after maybe.
So I guess the follow-up question would be, how is the attendance calculated?
Oh, I used to know this. So Johnny,
there's a thing.
Yeah, I used to know this, but I forget now. Kind of like same thing with the time of a match. I used to know that. So match attendance size, time of the match. Alex asked, in which cycle did each league in the Iwar have its highest activity? My Alex voice. Johnny.
Why is my voice like that?
I don't know. Since rejoining the Eye with the network, the WTL's record of 56 cards, 448 matches occurred in the summer of 2023 cycle, and the CWL's best cycle was November 23 at 78 cards, 622 matches. The most activity in BWL took place in September 22 with 38 cards and 301 matches. That's going to change. And the same tour witnessed the IWL set its current best of 159 cards, 1,270 matches, and the BRL's May 2020 bulletin was home to 205 cards, 1,633 matches, and NWL's record sits atop with 263 cards, 2,098 matches. That occurred in October 2013 when it still bore the name National Wrestling League. That was the Brothers in Question era, as I remember correctly.
I wonder who was the commissioner of records during those time frames.
Yeah. Johnny B. Jr. Finally, in the Dog Days 2022 cycle, former manager Tommy Christopher had us ask players if they would prefer we begin using tour as the official term to describe a round of play rather than cycle. The request generated an extremely low number of responses. A mere 17 months later, an episode of 163, the Iwar Network Tubecast hosts raised the issue again, and so the cycle continues. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah.
It's like my wife. Boom, boom, boom.
Yes. So, yeah. So thank you, Johnny B, once again for the Q&A. I would, segue from the Q&A to another question for Johnny B, which is related to the big deals that were unleashed. There was the 2024 deal for new or returning players, and then there was the Graveyard deal, which was players who had wrestlers in the Graveyard League can come out of there and take advantage of a great deal. So I can tell you from my end, I put an ad on Facebook and promoted it through the system, and so far it had...
Matt also put an ad in the local paper.
Yes.
In the want ads.
The personal...
Is that still a thing?
The personal section.
The personal
Craigslist.
section?
Craigslist meeting place.
So sketchy.
So you'll know the difference here. There were 33,000 impressions, 21,000 reached, and then 423 clicks. So that's so far. It goes until the Valentine's Day, as I have it set to go to. So that's those 423 clicks. In theory, should go to Play IWA. But I'm just curious on their end. How many players have taken the deal? Have they had more, traffic or noticeably more traffic than normal? Is it worthwhile? Just see if it works out that way. So there's that. And another Q&A thing was, I'm not sure when it actually happened, but I know it used to be interleague matches were not a thing for a long time. Then it was just a commissioners only thing, and then I kind of got waved aside. And a player asked today, how do you go about doing it? Now, I've always said I think the way to do it is to send the IWA the name of the wrestlers involved. And so, for example, in the BWL, there was a tag match with 2 BWL wrestlers against a BWL wrestler and a partner in the DZL. So I thought I sent it the right way. I did not, apparently, because I sent it in, and the numbers...
Don't use numbers.
Don't use numbers?
Don't use numbers. Well, every time I've done interleague matches, and I've done them quite a bit, I don't use numbers. I will go wrestler's name and then the league in parentheses. So
okay, well that's what I must have done wrong because I use numbers, but I put like DZL wrestler.
Yeah, but that's
I must have. They probably were just like. I assume the guy's like, okay. Work. You know, Johnny's like up there, like like cracking a bat, like you better finish these results. These guys want these results.
It's kind of like a sweatshop.
I got Darren sending me messages. He's screaming about the results. Derek Tuttle's in a video punching people. I like to picture the most like happy people in the game as the most violent, angry players.
Johnny B putting a coat hanger on the stove and just putting it to people's feet as they're trying to get these results out.
It hurts, boss. Yes, finish it up. See, yeah.
I gotta watch this Tubecast.
Yeah, I gotta do some Q&A myself. Okay, I'm working here. K&E hour. I always preferred cycle. K&E hour. Welcome. I'm going to feign ignorance. Not really. Welcome, K&E hour. Who do you run? Who's your wrestlers? The last thing I want to show is just before we get too far into the show. Of course, I like to show off the belt I won with Senya Lucha. But a little difference here. Show you. This is the belt from Clemmer. So Scott sent me this, and it is a actual replica national title, NWA National Championship belt. There you go, and it's heavy as hell. So there.
Mike Swanson can give us some background on belts. He's a heavy belt guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are.
Have you defended it yet? Is a real question. You came out of retirement and defended that belt yet?
Yeah. No, I'm still recovering from an injury, like CM Punk. Ricky Kyle, hey man.
Hey.
Kyle Queen, right? Yes, I believe. Welcome. So yeah, we're always curious about things like interleague matches. I just wanted to bring it up because I was curious. I think I must have botched it now. Storyline wise, we'll work around it. But just I wanted to make sure if I'm doing it right. So if I do it in the future, I don't screw it up. Ricky Kyle, former Iwar champion.
Correct.
So where do you want to go from here?
Let's start with NWL. It always gets people excited.
You want
like Brad Armstrong's hair here, by the way. It's really good. I think that's Brad.
Oh yeah. The what is that? Jerry curled?
Yeah.
Wow. It'll be cornrowed today. All right. So, do you want to read the results? Or you want me to?
I will read them when we bring those up. I was too busy looking at the DZL for a second.
You want to look so much? Why don't you join?
Not in 2024, that's for sure.
Oh, that was also a question for today. Was when's he returning?
I can guarantee you that Luther Alexander will not make a debut in 2024. Take that.
There it is. You heard it here first, folks.
There it is. All right, New Wave League, number 213. League champion Sarah B. Money. TV champion Greggy Money. Central Plains champion Jailbird Smith. East Coast champion The Beast Henrik Schroeder. Great Lakes champion Killer Creed. Mid-Atlantic champion The Reprobate Larry Teague. Northeast champion Mike Rampage Sanders. Pacific Northwest champion John Holland. And 0-2, by the way. Rocky Mountain champion.
Entry Battle Royal, folks.
Yeah, get that Battle Royal, that's for sure. Rocky Mountain champion Hillbilly Voodoo and Hillbilly Voodoo Docs Holland. Southeast champion AJ Hammer. Southwest champion El Grandioso. West Coast champion Double D Christoph. League tag team champions Krakatoa and the Reprobate Larry Teague. TV tag team champions Dr. Steven C. Farr and Jailbird Smith. League 6-man champions El Grandioso. Hillbilly Voodoo Docs Holland and Dr. Stephen Farr. TV 6-man champions Mike Rampage Sanders, Killer Creed, Jailbird Smith, And your Battle Royal winner is Mike Rampage Sanders. So, Matt, what's going down in the NWL?
The hell should I know? No. No.
Did you work there?
This is where I tag into Aaron. No, I am part of the commissioner team. And you notice I say team, there's several former and recent players from NWL that are helping us, Aaron and myself.
Looks great, though.
Together, and it's a lot of good influence, input.
Change the name, though, for sure.
That could happen. There is some commissioner shifting going along here today. We'll talk more about that later on.
Sounds like a movie I once saw.
Yeah.
Skinamax.
No.
That was a Skinamax joke, guys.
Yeah. Skinamax jokes.
I can talk about my television network that I created later on.
Oh, yeah, your Plex?
I have a TV network.
Okay. We'll check that out, too. It's a fun thing to get people interested in. I'll watch old episodes of, what was the show with Piper and Ventura?
That's Tag Team.
Tag Team.
I watch Small Wonder every day at 6 o'clock.
That old lady just get involved? What the hell?
It's Knoxville, so yes.
Oh, man. Yeah, so NWL...
We need more wrestling grandmas, by the way, as a concept. You need more grandmas in the front row at wrestling matches.
Well, to be fair, Senya Lucha did bring his abuela to ring with him in the urn.
Did.
And he was throwing her ashes in people's eyes, which was a great little lucha.
What happened to his son? We don't talk about him, apparently.
Yeah, well, Black Demon Jr., who knows? He's out there somewhere, hanging out with Luther, maybe.
He's dead.
Dead. NWL-wise, what's going on there? There's a lot going on, and of course, after the fallout from the pay-per-view, where Donnie B and Mac took over the NWL from their father, Johnny B. So Donnie B and Mac O'Brien. And a little shifting, and I love Hugh Jazz removed. I love it. Slice McDice, head of security. I enjoy that the names Capricorn Hayes and Melanie Monroe. I can't figure out who that is, but Dr. Doug Ross, great for a ringside doctor. There's a lot going on there. I would invite anybody to take a look, a gander, and get caught up. And right now we're in that transitional spot. We're about to lose. Like, we just lost Mizuku, Yamazaki, and McMaster. So they'll be moving on. So, we've got 3 new players in Crystal Clear, David Van Zant, and Rockin' Ricky Starr, which sounds like someone just transported them out of like the 80s and 90s indie scene in the South. Rockin' Ricky Starr, 0-2. Hey, baby, I'm coming. It's like Jumpin' Jeff Farmer,
Yes. We all love Jumping Jeff Farmer.
Yeah, I made Jumpin' Jeff Farmer and Motley Cruz jobbers in the BRL.
Nice. So. You ever seen the extended, there's actually extended promo for that. And you see the rebuttal from Motley.
Oh, right.
It's a whole thing now.
Yeah. So, again, if you're in the NWL, keep those promos coming. A lot of good promos, a lot of trash talk. And if anyone there, I got Swamp Sock Junior sent me his intro or his Johnny B Cup info. We pushed back the Johnny B Cup sign-up dates, so if you send them in, that's fine. You'll be in. Don't worry about it. I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, that's NWL real quick. I would just say give it a read. It's out there. It's fun to read. So.
Yeah, man. I dig that.
Where to next?
Well, next up is going to be the CWL.
Oh, CWL, all right.
CWL, Continental Wrestling League, number Austin 316. League champion, the American Patriot. TV champion, Big Bad Bob. United States champion, Nutty Bunny 3. I read it as Nutty Buddy. I'm a big fan of Nutty Buddies, by the way. Yukon champion, Nature Boy Phil Landers. Caribbean champion, Fabulous Harry Hurt. Amazon Basin champion, Hardware Phil. British Isles champion, Burning Rage Crusher Payne. Arabian champion, returning Mike Mason. South African champion Matt Jackson, Siberian champion Nick Jackson, East Asian champion Future Man, Oceanic champion Johnny the Wrench Morello, another big time return.
Yep.
League tag team champions Yucca Puddings and a single Dorito inside of a bag of Sun Chips. TV tag team champions The Major, Benny Factor, and the Genuine Artificial. The League 6-man champion The Major, Benny Factor, Nature Boy Phil Landers, and the Genuine Artificial. TV 6-man champions Nutty Bunny number 1, number 2, and number 3. And your Battle Royal winner, Nutty Bunny number 3. So what's going down in the CWL? Well, lots of stuff. So we're heading into their next big pay-per-view, which is Vindication. That's upcoming. Looks like Samantha Soley has signed a new match between the Zodiac Horoscope and the Red Scorpion. So that's going to be a main event anywhere in the world, apparently. So the card as of right now is CWL World Title match, Hotshot Eddie Gilmore versus Fabulous Harry Hertz. CWL Internet title match, the American Patriot taking on Zeb Martin. CWL Tag Team title match, Devon Snaps taking on Millennial Reign. CWL 6-man Tag Team champions, Immortal Dynasty, Devon Snaps, and the Nutty Bunnies. As I mentioned before, the Zodiac versus the Red Scorpion, and the Chameleon taking on a mystery opponent. That's going to be a big deal. I wonder who the mystery opponent would be. Any ideas? Any guesses in the chat, perhaps, about who the mystery opponent for the Chameleon's going to be? It's supposed to be a big deal.
Himself. He wrestles the mirror. He wrestles himself.
Well, it could be a lot of people. It could be Izzy Crazy. It could be Phantom Striker. It could be returning Frank Leatherman Snow.
Oh, wow. Leatherman.
Well, he's like Terry Funk. He's like Terry Funk.
It's not Mike Mason. No, it's not Mike Mason. But it could be now. Could be.
Well,
I will add, CWL-wise, I'm really thrilled that Big Bad Bob took the TV title. I think,
man.
Yeah, we silently root for Big Bad Bob. He's always there with his artwork. Takes a cycle off now and then, which is fine. It happens. But constantly just grinding out wins and working. So glad he took a TV belt. American Patriot, Jeremy staying hot with the stats there. Of course, Johnny the Wrench Morello is back in action. And kind of under the radar, but you'll notice the number 2 ranked wrestler, Mike Drake, is now in the CWL. That's a big name in the game.
Huge.
And the Jacksons, Nick and Matt, are his. And I believe he has some other guys, but they're further down. But, all part of some talent coming in, expanding the CWL. I believe there's some new people coming in, but I don't see them yet, so I won't confirm or deny. But I believe there's some people on the way. And the Red Scorpion getting a lot of flack with his promos. I will say this. Yeah, Red Scorpion.
Who's that?
He's ranked number 9, but his promo is always controversial.
Okay, that's fair.
And I will just say this: the single Dorito inside a bag of Sun Chips. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but I picture him like Curry Man.
Yeah.
With a mask with a bag, and like the bag is clear, but you can see the chip rolling around. And then like during the match, when they break the chip, he like goes berserk. That's how I'd book him.
I once received an empty chicken nugget. Like it was just the shell of the nugget.
There was just the coating.
The coating with no meat on the inside.
That's horrible.
Yeah. And they only gave me like one barbecue sauce for 20 nuggets. It's ridiculous.
Oh, that's.
I don't know if it's a national thing, but they've gotten real stingy with the barbecue sauce from McDonald's. So it's a problem. It's a problem.
There was a TikTok the other day. It was some lady whose husband punched his order, and he got 10 20-piece McNuggets.
That's heaven.
And I remember the first time someone had the 20-piece McNugget, and we were driving somewhere, we just tackled it in the car and we were going around. It was like, you can put away a surprising amount of nuggets.
Yeah, for sure.
Scary amount. So yeah, CWL is heating up.
So there's clues about who the power couple is going to be that's going to show up at Vindication. Will it be Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, perhaps? Good. I'm voting for J-Lo and Ben Affleck. That's my pick.
Could be, yeah.
It's not gonna be Luther and Tracy Lords. That's we know that for sure. So
right, yeah, yeah. So you never know. Oh no! Unfortunately, Mike says his TT did not make it in the bulletin. Yeah, please post it on the Iwar page, and if you do send it to the IWA, they will
put it in the online version.
Yeah,
so if you send it back to them, they will put that in there. So a little background on Mike Mason. Now, Mike Mason is a very dangerous man. So he's
a goddamn maniac.
He is a maniac. He once murdered a horse. He broke Samantha Soli's neck. So now that he's going into the league, that she's the commissioner, and that could be a potential problem down the road. Founding member of Revolution Extreme, the quote unquote enforcer of RX for a time period there. So very dangerous. A welcome addition, welcome back. That's a big deal. It's a big deal for sure.
I'm frozen, by the way. I don't know if that matters or not.
Yeah, because I have to click on your face. There you go.
Oh, okay.
If I click on your face, you'll get unfrozen.
Oh, okay, good.
But sometimes you freeze, but you're not really frozen. You're just standing.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I see it. Okay.
That's really weird. Ooh, Terry Adonis taking on Terry Bam Bam Gordy for the Texas Heavyweight Championship.
Mongolian Stomper. Now I'll tell you this. I believe this is from Continental because I used to get a newsletter called Controlled Mayhem by a guy named Brett Bond, and it was like every 2 weeks he sent out a recap of the action, the interviews, promos, everything. And it was like $1 a month.
The Chavo Guerrero and Buddy Landell.
Yeah, and it was great. Like just getting like I loved. Oh jeez, early Senior Lucha there. NXT State Flag. Yeah. So anyways, that's CWL action for you folks.
Darn tootin'.
Darn. But do you?
I do dig it. I do.
All right. Well, where you
I feel like that. I feel like that Simpsons meme where he says, "Say the line, say the line."
Well, that's the second meme I've used for Simpsons today. I was talking with some guys in one of the chats, and I am not a big fan of the AI, and I'll tell you why. I've gone over it before, but I was trying to think of where it reminded me of. So, you remember the Simpsons where they went to Camp Krusty?
Yeah.
And they had the video, and it was like, we're going to hear from Krusty. And it's Krusty, hey, he's like talking. And then he's like, be sure to hang out with my best buddy, Mr. Black. And he's like, he's a great guy, Mr. Black. And that's kind of how it reminds me, because it's kind of formulaic. It's not bad. It's just like, it just feels the same.
There's no heart in it. Like there's no like.
Well,
I've started using the AI right before I left for my sabbatical. I started to use it. I've gotten halfway decent on it, so it doesn't come across like that. It's not the way you put the words in will change everything. So the more information you give it, the better your picture is going to be. So like, you want to have more backgrounds. You can add more people. You can do some more things creatively with it, and you can change the type of like. You can change the type. Like, I had a picture. It was like Luther Allen. It was Sylvester Stallone drawn by Jack Kirby.
Yes,
and that's an AI picture that's completely different than what you see, or such and such drawn by some artist. And it will make that AI picture just look a little bit different than like your normal, like the ones you see over and over and over again.
Well, I can tell you, like from a perspective like the W2K game, right?
Yeah.
So there's like I think 20 like generic kind of put together faces, right?
Yeah.
what I do is I go in and I start messing around with like their lips and eyes and nose to give them kind of a different facial structure. Because after a while, like for the Von Schnaps, I just used Victor Von Schnaps' character and just replicated it and changed the bodies.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to look like him. They're his kids. Right. But then I'm like, oh, other wrestlers kind of look similar. You know, and it's up to making the outfits different, and you know, you can use sunglasses to kind of hide the eyes sometimes. But I'd like to see the AI get tweaked and see players do almost like do less but say more, if you will. Where, you know, because what I see a lot of now is sort of like generic, like calling out, you know, blank. It's kind of like not specific. Maybe you want to go in and like tweak it a little bit, but I would just say
do fun stuff. Like I did like Sylvester Stallone and OJ riding a bike.
Right, like you could have
like you can do whatever you want. Just.
I had a picture where I had Miss Sena Lucia at a funeral home, and I asked Blue Demon Jr. at a funeral home, and it didn't really work very well, but I could probably tweak it enough and get to where I want.
Those text boxes, they're not like you're supposed to have like almost 40 phrases in there. Like the longer it is, the better the picture is going to come out.
Yeah. So, but they're getting there. But like, you know, images wise, it's getting there. I just know that like there's one of the leagues is doing a contest, or they're doing like a inter-league contest, and they want like to have auditions and like samples. And I keep thinking like, well, here's going to get difficult because if you have a lot of players using the same exact AI, you're going to have very, very similar promos. You know, like I always say, like, you know, if you take like a basic promo, right? And I always say your three things of your promo should be who you are, why you're there, and how you're going to get what you want, right? So, like, you know, I'm so-and-so, I came here to, like, destroy Luther Alexander, and I'm going to beat you in a Russian chain match. Okay. But why you? Like, what makes you different? You know, well, you know, I grew up in the mean streets of New Orleans, and I'm going to take my cane and use it and wrap around your head, you know, blah, 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 whatever, you know. So, you know,
I would use the one, there's the one that you can upload. You can upload your, like, you can upload.
ChatGPT?
There's one where you can upload, like, your stuff. So, like, if I was going to do something like that, I would upload 200 Luther promos that I've done that I have saved and have them create one based on the way I write him now. You know what I mean? Okay. So you could do that based on how you write, and it'll almost perfectly mimic your style.
Okay. Well, I do have a question related to this. And this came because of who we're watching in the match right now, where it's Buddy Landell versus Todd Morton. Yeah. And the question is, holy, just pat him in the butt. Just pat him in the butt again, you pervy old lady. Is Todd Morton, was he supposed to be like Ricky's cousin, or was he just a blatant ripoff?
No, I think in this era, I think he was more like a he was more of a Lance Von Erich type deal.
Okay, he's got the same exact like pants.
Yeah.
And bandanas, and I get it, you know, it's a look, but he also have the same kind of hair as Ricky Morton, and you called Todd Morton. El Lobo. All right. Anyway, that's enough of that rant. Anyways, where do you want to hit next?
So let's do BRL.
Oh boy, BRL.
I'll let you take it.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so league champion for the 7th time. And this actually puts him in the top 10 all-time. He's now number 9. Agent 26, now 9th ranked all-time in BRL scoring with this win. So enjoy the $25 credit, his 50th star, which makes him qualified for the Hall of Fame on all 3 levels, wins, stars, and money. Well done, Agent 26. So co-founder of the SHS, Serpent Hill Savages. Battle Royal winner, winning $25. Heavy D.
And the boys?
And the boys. Wow. I think I actually had Adam Cash make a reference to that. Like, it's the Fat Boys?
Not Dirty Mike and the boys now.
Thanks for the fuck, Jack. One of my favorite lines. I'll make a quick side note. When I was working in Boston at the Back Bay Trader Joe's, there's a parking garage. And in the parking garage on the 3rd level was this red beat-up car that had been there forever. And it was filthy. And I would every so often write in the windshield, the back windshield, thanks for the F-Shack, Dirty Mike and the boys. I am a mature person.
That's an underratedly like really good film.
Aim for the Bushes is one of my favorite.
It's just not. It's just like no one really cares about that movie, like other than me. Like it's like
I'm sorry how she looks. It's Eva Mendes. All right, anyways, back to the action here. BRL champion, third time in 4 cycles, I believe. But Big Guns Greg Gannar, he actually wanted to thank us for say we root for him. There are certain players we absolutely do root for, but guys who kind of make that leap, and I think Greg has made that leap because American Destroyer was recently the BRL champion. Big Guns Greg Gannar's, TV champion. I will say I'm worried. RX Payne, the pharmacist, inactive again. I got to drop him a line and be like, hey, man. Central Plains champion, Stevie Vertigo. East Coast champion, Alec Von Schnapp. That's right. Alec Von Schnapp now in the BRL. Great Lakes champion, Hawaiian Heartthrob. Side note, Hawaiian Heartthrob, 1 wrestler, 1 strategy. That's such an impressive thing to me. Stevie Vertigo, 1 wrestler, 1 strategy as far as like singles wrestlers go. Mid-Atlantic champion, Whitefoot. Northeast champion, Punk Rock Mike. I believe he's 12th all-time in BRL scoring. Pacific Northwest champion, Jackson Bordeaux. Rocky Mountains champion, Hillbilly Kevin, another player who's made that big leap. He had a really big cycle last year, but he's coming around, scoring more and more points. Southeast champion, Heavy D.
And the boys.
Southwest champion.
He's the overweight lover.
Was those the guys that did the Disorderlies?
No, that's the Fat Boys.
Okay, well, all right.
I could do a whole tube cast on early '80s hip hop. So
there you go.
Disorderlies, Jesus Christ.
Southwest champion Crusher Canutulia and the boys, and West Coast champion Low Blow. Letamaki? Sorry.
That's why they picked that one to do.
Low blow Letamaki. Good job, kid. You're full of malaki. All right, tag champions winning 5 free matches. Simone Assassin and Toa Inoue. And fun fact, they are now the 5th in BRL tag team scoring. They've been in the league 3 years. That's how good they are. They are now 5th overall all time in BRL tag team scoring. Well done. BRL TV tag champions in the how the hell they pull that off? Punk Rock Mike and Monster Truck Tanaka. Blind tagging. Old school IWA. I love it. 6-man champions. Polar Circle. I got the memo, guys. Sorry. I kept calling them Polar Express, which I think is a good name, too, if it wasn't for the movie. But
I've been on the Polar Express before.
You were saying that. Yeah. Was it worth it?
No. Very expensive. It's in New Jersey. It's very expensive.
In Jersey.
You get the bell at the end.
Do you pass by an Arby's and it's like, how you kids doing? Yeah, Merry Christmas.
It's like in the middle of an industrial area too. It's like,
oh, that's too bad. I don't know if you ever had. Do you have this growing up? There were like certain neighborhoods where there were homes that like converted their houses at Christmas time to like Christmas theme, like lights everywhere.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of houses. We had one in my hometown, like which was in the south end of town, south of Peabody. But they had this weird like you could walk in their front yard and like there was like a train, like you go in like the living room. They converted so you could walk like through the house. It was really weird. And they sold their setup years ago to like one of the companies in Boston. Like they have it there. It's so weird. Like it was just somebody's like lights, and we were walking around their house as a kid.
So they decorate the beach up here. So
okay.
Jones Beach was like the biggest beach on Long Island. You can like there's like a winter wonderland thing where they decorate a bunch of stuff, and you pay your $20 per carload and you drive through it.
Okay.
So it's like they do like a big light show, and they do the same thing for 4th of July too. But it's like it's a big deal up here.
Oh well.
But you can't pee, and it's like an hour because you're driving 5 miles per hour the entire.
So you're bringing a big bottle of water to,
Yeah, you might want to go with the big gulp cup. Perhaps just go nice. Right out the window.
When I was going to Vermont once skiing with a friend. We were driving, it was snowing like crazy. And I was driving, he's like, I gotta piss. And we couldn't, it was like, dude, we can't stop. So he gets in the back seat, and he's like, oh, and he pisses, and I didn't know this. And he hands me, he goes, here, hold this. And he hands me this warm bottle of Mountain Dew. It's not Mountain Dew anymore. Yeah. So I roll my window down, and I'm like, ah! I throw it, and then I look, and I see this truck coming the other way. I was thankful it was like snowing so heavy because that guy had turned around and come after us. We would have not been able to get away. It was just like, oh, I remember that warm. Ah! Anyways, the TV champions in the BRL, six-man champions of the mannequins. So there it is. And the mannequins, I should probably point out too. I believe
my favorite film of all time.
Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
And it was
Kim Cattrall, but not naked in this one, unfortunately. She doesn't get naked in everything else she does. She doesn't get naked in Big Trouble in Little China and Mannequin, but every other movie she's in, including Porky's, she gets naked in.
She got naked. She's in Porky's?
She's in Porky's.
I should watch Porky's again. I haven't watched it since I was a kid.
I watch at least once a month.
It explains a lot. Before you write your TT, you're like, how do you get motivated? I watch Porky's. Oh.
Porky's 2 and Porky's 3.
I watched The Boy Who Could Fly. What? Oh. So anyways, the Mannequins are now the second-ranked BRL six-man team of all time. They're within 100 points of first place, so they could actually become the number one ranked BRL six-man team of all time, going back to whenever. So, well done, sirs.
How far do your records go back?
87.
87.
Yeah. I mean, I'm missing some pockets here and there, but I just noticed Mr. Hardcore Thumbtack Jack is the fourth ranked wrestler. Who the hell is that?
Thumbtack Jack?
I used to know who manages that guy, and I don't remember now.
Not Savannah Jack, obviously.
No,
Outback Jack.
Thumbtack Jack. I know that name. I remember it. That's cool. That's great. So fourth ranked wrestler, big ass record. But I'm just looking real quick at the lineup, see if I missed anybody else who's new. I haven't really looked through it too fast. I just kind of buzzed over the results. I was up late last night with Scott online talking. So let's see here. Okay, so just a couple BRL notes. The pay-per-view WrestleRama is filling up, and I had some qualifier matches this cycle. So look at that, and you'll see there's Sabretooth versus Whitefoot, Stevie Vertigo versus El Barbero, Steel Cut Oates versus Mark Justice, Gordon Donovan versus RJ Gallo, Tack McGee versus Hawaiian Heartthrob, Hate Clown versus Bizarro the Clown, and we're going to keep 4 spots open for mystery spots that are kind of like ice. So, but we're always looking for some matches. And you notice there's 3 grudge match spots open. So what I like to do is those grudge matches, there's Steel Cut Oates versus Stevie Vertigo on the pay-per-view, LePage Turner versus Punk Rock Mike, and some more. So those other ones, if you can build up a good feud, I will absolutely book the matchup. And then whoever wins those grudge matches gets a spot in the ladder match at the Imagine Bash Summer Show. So, yeah, so that's in the works. So I haven't looked at the TT yet. I would suggest checking out U.S. Mail's promo. A lot of fun promos, but I just read I started reading through the Big Guns Greg Gunnar promo where he and Pain and Destruction beat up Steel Cut Oates. And it's fun watching the characters grow. So yeah. Well done, and welcome Frandel Warp Slayer. I love the name, big fan. So anyways, so I won't go into all the BRL promos. I was looking at them real quick, and I'm want to read them all. But that's the BRL action right there, folks.
All right, man. I dig that.
Where shall we go next?
Western Trails Heritage League?
There's no heritage in there.
There should be.
Mr. Barry Windham, your Western Heritage title.
That belt's on my wall right now, actually.
Is that the one Mike sent you?
Yeah.
I want the Lasertron Championship. All right, Western Trails number 88. Western Frontier champion Justin Kyle, Lone Star champion, Super Dragon.
Super Dragon.
That's right.
I have to do that. Yeah.
Central Plains champion, touchdown, Tommy Maddox. Mexico champion.
Like from the Steelers?
Yes.
Okay.
That's gotta be. It's a Derek guy. Absolutely a Derek guy. If it's a Steelers guy, come on, Pittsburgh.
I don't know why I know that. Anyway.
I want to see what's his name? Slash. Cordell Stewart.
Cordell Stewart.
Call him Krusty Cordell Stewart.
I was watching like the Pro Bowl from like '96 or something.
Why?
They're doing a skills competition, and it's like Cordell Stewart, a young Brett Favre, and a couple other dudes. It was ridiculous. I think Dan Brown was there.
Dan Brown. I will tell you, I as a Patriots fan, rooted against the Steelers for years. But I like when they're good because it's a good rivalry, whatever. Now the Pats are terrible. We just hope to like be good again at some point. But we're gonna have to settle for the Jets for now.
Listen, you guys could be bad for 10 years, all right?
We were bad for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised.
The Jackson Fives destroyed the Patriots for one point. No one had to sell the Patriots because of the Jackson Five.
Oh yes,
The victory tour.
Yes, that's why my draft got them because they were almost going to move to St. Louis at one point.
Yeah.
Before the Rams moved there, the Pats were rumored to go there. Then Kraft stepped in.
Is that Kraft guy the guy from Kraft Cheese?
No, he's a different. It's a paper products, but it's not the same. Like there's many things now, but like he was paper product. I thought at first when I first like Robert Kraft.
Because I thought like was it Woody Johnson was from Johnson and Johnson, I think.
Yes, I believe that's true.
Yeah. No more tears apparently.
Yes, we sell this product called tea tree shampoo. Now, if you don't know what tea tree oil, it's like a way
I do. I like to use it. It's good for my lower extremities.
Trader Joe's tea tree oil. I always tell people the tea tree shampoo is like Johnson & Johnson's is no more tears. Yeah. Well, all those tears went to the tea tree shampoo. You get it in your eye, like all the tears.
So I've been using the Rogaine with minoxidil.
Yeah, how's it going?
Bit. I got it in my eyes the other day. That shit fucking burned like a motherfucker. I thought my eyeball was gonna fall out my head.
You get hairy eyeballs now?
Yeah.
Is it working? Any success yet?
It's getting there. I mean, it's coming.
All right. I gotta
going for the hair club for men here in a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta get ready. It's funny. My barber in the last ever since I got my lupus diagnosis, the last 4 years has gotten my hair's thinned out more than it's been ever. I've always had the same exact hair since I was a kid. But that's lupus for you. Thanks for the pain.
Trying to grow it out long enough so I can get cornrows.
Get a skullet.
I thought about it. I seriously thought it because that's the way it goes. I got the pseudo George Jefferson action.
See, I need hair because I have a lumpy head. I would shave my head, but I have a lumpy head. I couldn't do it. I'm like sloth under my hair. Dodge City champion Dolphin Baylor. Dolphin Baylor. Get it? Dolphin. Another Derek wrestler. Tombstone champion Cowboy Jim Spur. Prairie View champion The Gambler Jack Potts. Widowmaker champion Chainsaw Chuck. Badlands champion Geronimo. Cripple Creek champion Shackles Malone. Southwest champion Texas Jesse Tombstone. Chisholm.
Still around that son of a bitch.
Yeah. Chisholm. Trail champions the Spittoon Lou Gee. Western Frontier champions Zephyr and Jahare. Lone Star Tag champions Mystic Angel and Fallen Angel. Western Six-Man champions Mr. Excitement 1, 2, and 3. Lone Star Six-Man champions Wild Card Billy Buckshot, The Brains Bo Buckshot, and Benji Buckshot. And the Bunkhouse Brawl winner was the Impact player Leon Phoenix, former NWL standout player. Leon Phoenix was one of the 4 finalists in the All-Rookie Cup one year.
Is his brother's name River?
Not anymore.
No.
Want to note, because this is brought up from Derek brought it up earlier, that he noticed that the Texas Jesse Tombstone, Blackjack Robertson, and Shotgun James Carnage in the IWL had newer records. And this was a strategic move made by the regulators because now that they're in the WTL, they're in the top 5 in the rankings. So kind of like I did with Lucha. I moved Lucha there because he gets a league title shot every cycle now.
I've done that too.
Hey, you know what? You're building your record up.
I've switched records before.
Yeah. And what I did with Alec Von Schnapp is Fatty the Butcher. He's now Adam Cash's bodyguard, so he's not wrestling. And I just gave Fatty's record to Alec Von Schnapp now for the year. So there it is.
He's still in the Noble Savage League. So it's all
is he?
Probably. I think that you have wrestlers still there.
I wouldn't be surprised. I have, like, every so often someone's like, "Oh, is there a wrestler?" I'm like, "Yes." Why are they still there?
I think you have some guys in NAL too.
So a little quick note on WTL. Commissioner-wise, Scott was running the report and was working towards it, but he's got other things going on in his life he has to focus on. So as he's doing that, we lucked out in that former IWL commissioner and all-around okay guy, Ryan Gessner, stepped back in.
Handsome, by the way.
Handsome
Better
boy.
looking than 10 movie stars.
I'm telling you, on Facebook, that profile picture, I think I typed in handsome boy.
And it came right up.
He posted the picture. I typed it in. And his picture, his friends be like, "Who the hell is this guy saying handsome boy?" Oh.
Well, he probably gets that all the time anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Michael Swanson asked about, sorry, we missed this earlier. Wait, people are getting AI promos and pictures? Yeah. And even the pictures, I would suggest this. You'll notice a lot of the guys look almost similar. You just like take the hairs off and replace them. Crazy abs, crazy muscles.
Yeah, it's like everyone is like super jacked.
Yeah, and just they look a lot like. I get it. It's like a phase right now. So I would say, try to find ways to tweak it and make it really your own.
You want to make those different.
I mean, it's cool. It's a good tool. Use it, but keep working on it. I like the effort. I appreciate it. We always do. Todd Morton does.
Yes.
I think he's dead. But he cut his hair? I think he's dead. Oh, well.
You killed him?
He looks like it. Oh, he's laying there. Kaput. Okay. Should have had Lance Von Erich make this. Oh, he kicked him in the head. Buddy, why? Oh, he hit the ref. That's going to cost him.
So I will show some of the Luther AI pictures so people understand what we're looking at here.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, we enjoy getting those and seeing those. But that is the WTL. So there you have it.
I dig it, man. I dig it.
Do you want to do the IWL or do you want me to do?
I'll do it.
Thumbtack Jack. God damn, who the hell is that? I used to know who Thumbtack Jack was.
I'm still in love with this IWL logo, by the way. Just keep that.
The old school one?
The one that's up there now.
Oh yeah, the old school one. I love that.
Independent Wrestling League number 186, league champion Magnifico Astro, television champion Nemahaya Bogtrotter, New York City champion Dennis Maccabee, Los Angeles champion Suyu Pai, Boston champion Firebird John Satterfield, Detroit champion Ravishing Rex Chambers, Cleveland champion Bucking Buck Farmer, Dallas champion Ray Deamundo, Memphis champion On Points Edward Portheron, Miami champion Death Valley Drifter, San Francisco champion Excelente Astro, Chicago champion Perry Legal, league tag team champions Kid Justice and the Hollywood Kid, TV tag team champions Chase Grace and Justin Grace, league tag team champions, league six-man champions Suyu Pai, Windsor Detroit, and On Points Edward Portheron, TV six-man champion Christopher Destruction, Kid Justice, and the Hollywood Kid. And the Battle Warrior winning 44 free IWL matches, the Mahaya Bogtrotter. So, Matt, what's going down in the IWL?
The hell should I know?
You wrestled there at all?
I do. There's a lot going down in the IWL. And, I want to props to Ray Del Mundo for nearly
by the way.
Nearly 4,000 wins 6 stars. That is grinding out the wins. That is really dedication. Let's see. IWL wise, I haven't read the promos, but I know we are heading towards another pay-per-view. We have Matt Mania around the corner. And, one thing you can see if you go through that IWL is you can see the Trash Talk recap. So what you get is you get a recap of what happened last cycle, and then you get a build-up to what's coming with the new promos. So it's kind of nice to see that. My cat's snoring, sorry. Let's see here. You also have the staff, of course, and then I believe March cycle is what, 2 cycles away? Look it up here.
Well, we're in February now.
Yeah, we just hit February, so I would assume, well, it depends if he can. I always forget to ask, but I think he does what you did, which is the cycle you say it's happening in is when the matches occur.
Yeah.
Whereas I always say when
you mean the right way to do it? Yes.
Boo. Boo. Anyways, there's that. So, yes. All right.
That's fair.
So, yeah, well done. Astro is really doing well since their arrival. Look out. And Bucking Buck Farmer for a fun name to say.
Word.
There it is.
If you guys notice the dramatic pauses in the middle of this thing, it's because usually Aaron's here and he'll have some quippy comment in between me and Matt's pauses. So
yeah,
I'm sad.
Yeah, that's all right. He'll be with us next time, I'm sure. I like doing this though. The night of the results come out, we talk about it that night, get it out.
Well, it's when the most excitement happens for the
right.
You know, there's two like chats go like get active. Facebook, it's the day it drops, and then that Sunday before it's due is like the most active. So
yeah.
It's the best time to do it. So we'll do BWL.
Yeah, I'll bang it out. All right, so BWL. All right, this is number 31, and the pay-per-view Cage Fury 2 results are based off of this cycle's results. So, Black Widow champion Wildfire Betty Red, BWL Television champion Gold Digger Gina Colada, the Battle Royal winner was Queen of the Ring Arya Gunpowder, Japanese Idol champion Francine Batafugli, Joshi champion Brenda Bring to Pain, Zenjo champion Queen of the Ring Arya Gunpowder from the Battle Royal, Luchadors champion the Supreme Court Justice, Cholitas champion Rudy Groove, Bellatrix champion Barbed Wire, Themyscira champion Rachel Van Dorn, Hollywood champion Addison Killswitch, Sin City champion Spitfire Jeannie Briggs, and Willowick champion The Huntress. And we are sitting at about 19 wrestlers right now, so we're going to be working on getting some more people in here. But we're doing really well with who we have. We have a good core. And I did want to review the pay-per-view results. So these are the results. So when you do your promos next cycle, you can talk off the results. So they are... Now I can't find them. Sons of bitches. I just had them pull those. Here we are. Okay. So, in an open challenge, Jersey Jen Grapevine lost to Rudy Groove. The Spider Ericophobia resumed her feud with Rachel Yamazaki, who's still in the NWL, and won by 2 points to earn a triple threat entry match. So she's in the title match next time. Court Justice defeated Cinderella Frankenstein to earn a triple threat shot. Bring to Pain defeated Huntress, so she is the global challenger next time. Betty Than You and Gina Colada, the Iwar Women World Tag Champs, battled Ziggy Zimickle and Penny Pump to a draw. Rachel Van Dorn and Barbed Wire fought to a time limit draw. That's going to be fun to write. In a Hollywood street fight. Wildfire Betty Red defeated the longtime triple threat champion Meat Train and Spitfire Jeannie Briggs to win the triple threat championship. So congrats, Wildfire Betty Red. Francine Batafugli defeated Arya Gunpowder to win the global championship. And then in the main event, Aria Gunpowder defeated Meat Train by 1 point to retain the Iwar Women's Championship. So well done. Meat Train was the Women's Wrestler of the Year. That's going to be officially announced next time. But that's the results in the pay-per-view. And there's a couple of surprises happening in the show. So stay tuned. But the bigger news for the BWL is effective next cycle. I'm stepping down as commissioner, and Patrick Wallace is stepping in.
My man.
So stepping up. So really excited to have Patrick step in. And he's done a really good work across the game with his promos, the gun collection. And I look forward to seeing what he does. And it'll be fun. I'm still going to be there playing, so I'll still be involved. But if you want to get involved in the write-ups, please contact Patrick or myself. We'll help facilitate that. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah.
And if anyone want to help out in these leagues, contact with the commissioners. Having more help is great.
Yes, and even like for myself right now, freeing myself up from WTL and BWL lets me focus more on the BRL and the Iwar. So we're working on a special.
And the TDL.
What's that?
And the TDL.
TDL, yeah. TDL, but that's where I won the World Championship with Cena Lucha. Yeah, so just we want to have as much time as you can to enjoy the game, but not spread ourselves too thin. So, you can be involved on the way. Like for instance, even though Scott stepped aside from the game, he's still going to help me pick the names for the Lethal Lottery tournament. So we'll be doing that at some point over the next few weeks to get that ready. But yeah, it's all part of the process. And one of the best things is when you can pass your commissioner spot to somebody else who you have complete faith. That's really comfortable and relieving. But that's what's going down there. So that's all of our Iwar leagues. We talked about the deals. We talked about interleague matches. So Iwar stuff.
So that's going down Iwar wide.
The Johnny B Cup and the Murano Memorial and the Lethal Lottery tournaments are all going to kick off in April. So we pushed it back a few cycles to give the players who are returning a chance to also be involved in these tournaments if they want to be. And now that we're doing just $1 for any tournament, like everything's just $1, it just makes it easier. So, it's more affordable. You can get involved in more things and get more players involved. So we also have included the BBL wrestlers again this year in the Murano and Johnny B Cup tournaments. So that's available. Yeah. I think that's all the news that's fit to print.
Oh man, I dig it. So before we go, I want to talk about my television channel that I created.
Oh yes.
So anyone who's not interested in this whatsoever, you guys can probably leave. Have a good night, everybody. We're getting out of the Iwar zone anyway, so some of you may want to click off at this point. That's fine. So for some of you might know, some of you might not know, I collect quite a bit of movies and TV shows and music and obviously wrestling footage. I have a lot, probably way too much. All of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
What was the numbers? It was like 1,270 movies. It was 500 TV shows. It's a lot. So what happened to me the other day? So I'm sitting here in my den, and I'm sitting on the couch, and I can't figure out what to watch. I have everything, so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I want to watch a movie, and it's almost overwhelming in the amount where you have so many options, you can't pick anything, and that's where I ran into. So I ended up watching 1989's The Punisher and Street Fighter with Sonny Chiba, which is an awful movie, by the way. I don't know why Sonny Chiba is awful, by the way. He's an awful actor. He's a bootleg Bruce Lee that makes... Sonny Chiba does... His acting style is... him doing Bruce Lee impressions like my dad would do Bruce Lee impression. Like it's that bad. Regardless, that movie, Street Fighter, is not a good movie, by the way.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I was there for a good 2.5, 3 hours trying to figure out what to watch. And I have all this footage, and I don't get to watch it as much as I like to. So I was just thinking back from how we used to consume media back in the day, and the way we watched things back in the day. And it was very much, everything was appointment-based television. It was, it's on a schedule. It's we were watching whatever is on. So, hey, listen, you may not want to watch Golden Girls, but it's on and there's nothing else there. And guess what? You're watching Golden Girls, and you're watching episodes of Hunter that you wouldn't be watching. and there's kind of random shows. Oh, I'm watching V for no reason, because it's just on. But you get it's a different type of environment where, you may not have any interest in these shows initially, but after you watch a couple of episodes, you kind of get into it after a while, right? Which now today in the way we consume media is very much it's the binge model, right? You're binging seasons, one shot. Like you're going in and watching Ted, all 9 episodes, and back to back to back on a Saturday. That's the way we consume media. So I have the ability, and I looked into it, and I wanted to create my own television network and program it. So I am the programmer of this station. So it's actually channel number 69. I Dig That Television. That's the name of it. And I sat there, and for about 2 days, I programmed every show for, every time slot, weeks for weeks. So basically, it's what it does. It goes to the next show. So for instance, today, watch Knight Rider. Right, that was the 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock hour was Knight Rider, and next week we'll play the next episode of Knight Rider the following week. And then so on and so forth. So we'll do that for every single show, so you're not watching the same shows. So we'll just move it up. So I sat there and I created this network, and I'm able to share it with people. Not a whole lot of people, but obviously Matt has access to it. And I try to figure out how to make it go where anyone that wants to watch it can watch it. That's the new goal. But I have such shows, and I'll go down the list here. It's pretty ridiculous. So like, let's take a day here. So we'll do tomorrow. 6 a.m. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? 6:30 Scooby-Doo All-Star Laugh Olympics. 7 a.m. Sailor Moon. 7:30 Robotech. 8:30 Star Blazers. 9 o'clock Night Court. 9:30 That's My Mama. 10 o'clock Quantum Leap. 11 o'clock Kung Fu. 12 p.m. Magnum P.I. 1 o'clock Leverage. 2 o'clock Three's Company. 2:30 Too Close for Comfort. 3 o'clock Transformers. 3:30 G.I. Joe. 4 o'clock Thundercats. 4:30 He-Man the Masters of the Universe. 5 o'clock Batman the Animated Series. 5:30 X-Men the Animated Series. 6 o'clock Small Wonders. 6:30 The Adventures of Superman. 7 o'clock Batman. 7:30 Batman. This is Batman 66, by the way. 8 o'clock it's the weekly Wednesday movie, which this week will be Superman 2. And that's just a normal day till 11 o'clock is basically when I go to bed. So I go to... In between these shows, though, are retro commercials. So you'll pop on, and I went and I acquired about 24 hours worth of commercials.
Yeah.
30-second spots, and I insert them all in. So to give you an example, for like on Monday, it's like 9 o'clock Leave It to Beaver, 9:30 Mr. Belvedere, 10 o'clock Mama's Family, 10:30 I Dream of Jeannie, 11 o'clock $6 Million Man. Noon, The Greatest American Hero, 1 o'clock, Miami Vice, 2 o'clock, Three's Company, so on and so forth. And it runs all the time. So it doesn't stop running. It just runs all the time. So if I'm home and I put it on, something will be on.
Yeah.
I'm not pressing play here. It's just going to be on, just like the way we used to. So if you're 5 minutes late, you're gonna miss the first 5 minutes of Three's Company. All right, it's the way it goes. And it's and me doing this, it's actually like, because I think most of us we have TV kind of on in the background, right? Well, I don't have cable anymore. I haven't had cable for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So again, it's another way to do this. And obviously, Monday nights 9:00 is Monday Night Raw from 1993.
Nice.
I have Superstars from 1989 at noon on Saturdays, and on Sundays at noon it's All American Wrestling, just to keep it wrestling related. But it's all there. So I do have my own television network, so it's fun.
Nice.
So Matt, what are your thoughts on? You saw the whole Plex setup too.
Yeah, I like it. It's it's fun. I think the commercials are a nice touch. Now, can you you have to invite someone to the network, or can they find it?
We're not there yet. So the next evolution would be have it somewhere where I will send them a link and they'll click the link and they'll get onto the stream.
Okay.
Basically, the way Matt's watching it now, he has my logins for Plex, and he's able to go in there, and then I can. If you have a Plex account, what you can do is watch whatever movies I own.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I think you and Derek have access to that now. So you can go in there and watch whatever, if you want to watch Porky's 3, I have it.
So for example, on my phone, my TV at home, if I went to the apps, and could I find Plex in there?
Yeah. You can download off if you have a smart TV, you can do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. So I'm looking, just if I go in, I don't know how I go about finding apps.
There should be some sort of app store there where you would get your Netflix and your Disney Plus.
Popular.
There should be maybe a little magnifying glass that you can clip on and it'll give you the keyboard.
Let's see if I can find. I'm just curious if I can find it. Not that. Let me see. There's got to be a spot.
What TV you have?
I don't know.
What's it say in front of you? Look at the control.
Oh, this is one of those monster remotes that don't make sense.
Oh, you have a Universal? What is that?
Yeah. Oh, are you under Latino?
No, just go where apps are and just go into the magnifying glasses and type in the word Plex.
I'll try this. Plex.
Yeah.
That didn't work. Hold on.
It's on Roku. It's on the Fire Stick.
Oh, it might be. Hold on. Ah!
We got Brody. Who's Brody fighting?
All right. My knees aren't happy right now. If I go and I go here. All right. Now. Come on. No. Damn it. This is exciting.
That's why the wrestling footage is there. So as Matt's fumble fucking around, you can watch Bruiser Brody kick some dude right in the face.
I watched that video of Bruiser Brody chasing the fans around Japan. I love that.
Yeah.
Love it. Just watching them freak the hell out and run away.
The big rumor was that Brody was supposed to be Hogan's opponent for WrestleMania 2. Ted Bundy.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have been wild. But what happened? He just...
He had to job to Hogan. He's like, no.
It's like, who the hell's Hogan?
He's doing that shit. The rumor was always, too, that he was going to probably do WWF in 89 and come in as, his final deal. He's going to do WWF, get the big payday, and then retire after that.
Yeah.
I think a Percy Pringle.
Percy Pringle. would he have been the Undertaker before Undertaker? You know,
Possible.
big guy.
I mean, they're still a year out from that anyway. Almost 2 years out when he would have came in. Probably would have came in around SummerSlam.
What was Undertaker? 91?
90. It's November of 90.
Oh man, I can't get this to work.
He was Kane the Undertaker to begin with.
Kane the Undertaker.
Yeah.
The man who hates the gobbledygooker.
Do you know who the gobbledygooker was?
Chavo Guerrero?
It's Hector.
Hector.
Good old Lasertron.
Yeah. He was good.
Hector's underrated, huh?
Hector?
Yeah, because he's the one that went around. So Hector was in Memphis. Hector was everywhere, UWF. Like, he was always in a promotion. Like, you didn't see a whole lot of Chavo.
I'm having trouble getting this to work, so
Well,
I'll try later. When I'm not being a sped. Sorry.
You say the same thing in the bedroom anyway, so.
That's right.
This has never happened to me before.
That's right.
Lies.
Thanks, Blue Chew.
I only get my dick pills from the gas station, so just keep that in mind.
You know, Seth Meyers' show was talking about Bodega dick pills, and I was like, gas station dick pills.
Yeah, Hector was awesome in Smoky Mountain as well, Mike, for sure. And he probably looks the most like Eddie, too.
Really?
Yeah, anyone in his family, they look almost identical. All right, guys, so we are officially out of time. So for good old Matt Riley, I'm Alex G. Have a good night.